I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm on it. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're covered, Kevin.
Thanks, Melinda.
Wait, I have blah blah insurance, so person, come help.
Hey, Grandma. 6 callers ahead of us, Jimmy.
You're not helping.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. There to help you anytime, anywhere, anyway. That's getting to a better state.
Margie Gray in Indiana and David Smith in Clymer are there to help you.
Hi everyone, I'm Carly Krouse of the Indiana Gazette, and this is the 5th week of our high school football preview show. We're reporting to you from Thomas J. Medill Field, home of the United Lions. Things in the Heritage Conference continue to heat up, and Week 5 matchups could prove to be crucial. Defending champion Homer Center, which raced to its 3rd straight 4-0 start with a win over Marion Center last Friday, faces a tough road game this week. The Wildcats travel to Purchase Line to take on the 2-2 Red Dragons, who are looking to build off an ugly 33-27 win over St. Joseph's Academy. In the narrow win, the Red Dragons were penalized 18 times and fumbled 4 times. Purchase Line's Grant Seister and Homer Center's Ian Lee, last year's top 2 rushers, will carry the workload for these run-heavy teams. Seister has gained 789 yards and averages 220.2 all-purpose yards per game. Homer Center is second in the conference in rushing offense with 281.2 yards per game on the ground. The Red Dragons, however, are second in the conference in rushing defense, allowing just 130.2 yards per game, and will need to slow down the Wildcats' big playmakers. Blairsville, which is coming off a signature win against Ligonier Valley, heads to Northern Cambria with the hopes of staying unbeaten. The Bobcats will have to stay on their toes against an up-tempo Colts team, which put a pounding on United last week. Blairsville will also welcome back defensive leader Rodez Henderson, who was forced to sit out last Friday's game following an ejection in Week 3. The Bobcats have yet to allow a point in the 2nd and 3rd quarters this season. Despite their loss, Ligonier Valley had a strong showing against Blairsville and is set for a clash with upstart Marion Center. The Stingers are 2-2 and boast the conference's best running game with an average of 299.2 yards. Colton Fairman is second in the area in rushing with 592 yards and collects 12.1 yards per carry. Penns Manor travels to United this week and could win its 4th straight game after losing its opener. The Comets have a balanced offense that could cause problems for the Lions. United has dropped 2 straight since snapping its 21-game losing streak and has allowed 93 points in those 2 games. The Lions are last in the area in total offense and scoring offense. Salzburg goes outside the conference this week when it travels to Pittsburgh to clash with Westinghouse. Both teams are 0-4. The Trojans lead the area in passing offense but can't seem to get their ground game going or their defense to click. Salzburg has already given up 209 points and has a -7 turnover margin. The Bulldogs, out of the Pittsburgh City League, lost to Blairsville in the first week of the season. In the WPIAL, the Indiana Indians are back on the road for the 3rd time in the past 4 weeks when they visit Greensburg-Salem in a Greater Allegheny Conference game. Indiana lost to Franklin Regional last week, and it looks to get back on track against the Lions, who started the season with a surprising 9-6 win over Gateway, but have lost 3 games in a row since then, including a 44-6 blowout loss at Mars last Friday. Indiana, at 2-2, is tied with Mars for 5th place in the section, while Greensburg-Salem is 1 game ahead of last place Yawk with a 1-3 record. Apollo Ridge made a statement with a 46-20 win over Shadyside Academy last Friday in a battle of unbeatens, and it will face another undefeated team this week. The Vikings go on the road to face Highlands in a Class AA Allegheny Conference game. The Apollo Ridge duo of senior Trey Tipton and sophomore Dwayne Brown has been causing headaches for their opponents, and the Vikings are 1st in the area in total offense with 451.2 yards per game. Brown has already scored 15 touchdowns this season. West Shamokin, which is still searching for its first victory, came up just short against Freeport last week. The Wolves have a good shot to get in the win column on Friday against 0-4 Burrell. In the Class AA Interstate Conference, Derry plays host to Southmoreland in a matchup of 2-2 teams. The Trojans have won 2 straight following a 20-game losing streak. In the KSAC, Punxsutawney welcomes DuBois in a tough non-conference game. The Quad A Beavers, who compete out of District 10 Region 5, have lost 2 straight while the Chucks have won 3 straight. Make sure to read Saturday's paper for full coverage of Friday night's area games, and check back next week for another edition of the Indiana Gazette Football Preview Show.